Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back with the Plat. Platypus is the name, and I have just hit account level 41, which means not only am I better than you, I'm just messing. I have unlocked Chaos level 2, otherwise known as the Zero system. So I kind of wanted to talk about it, show you what it's like. This is Chaos level, being level 40 feels like it's when the game really fully opens up, because this feels like the true game that we're meant to be playing, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but like where if chaos manifestation is fun roguelike gameplay, but this is basically the easy mode, and Zero system is basically the hard mode, if I had to say it. So what do I mean when I say that? So this has its own progression system, which is awesome, its own reward system, which is awesome, while also giving you, on average, better, more difficult runs to build better data sets for your characters. So what are we doing? First, we go in here to the codex. Codexes, you can have up to 3. And in fact, let me delete one just for the sake of it. This one, I don't know. We'll just say this one's bad. I don't know. We could re-roll it. I'll leave it for a second, and I'll get to that in a second. So the game is going to give you one automatically at level 40. And when I completed it, it gave me another one. So it is very possible that just by completing one, you might need to beat the boss. I've only done a run once right now, okay? I did one run so I can get an idea of what it was like, and now I will get more experience as we go. But I beat the one that had a level 40 with a 5-star whatever difficulty, and it was level 40, and it gave me another one of the same exact map that I believe I got to choose from 3, and now it's level 42, so it kind of leveled up a little bit, right? And they have a bunch of modifiers. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick a map with modifiers. It's going to give you chaos orbs. We'll talk about that in a second. It's going to have, on average, better data value. Data value is very important. The save data value, it's basically how much points you can have in your deck before the game starts like removing stuff. So like if you make a perfect deck with every card perfectly, it's 50,000 points, and you're on save data value low, the game will mess up the deck to make it lower, and you'll keep some of the deck, and there'll be either bad cards added back in, or it'll remove like upgrades, or it'll put a basic card instead of another card. It'll mess up the deck. So save data value being higher is good in general, and this will let you target higher save data values. Also, you have a higher chance baseline of just rare events happening. And this is like the low end, by the way. This is where we start. And then there will be a debuff that you get that enemies have. This is, I would say, one of the more mild ones. One like this could be considered harder, right? It's level 48. It still only is a 5 difficulty. I don't know if I think I have to hit level 51 to go above this. And this goes up to level 10, by the way. This game gets flipping hard in the late game. Very difficult. If you think it's difficult now, we don't even know what's coming up. But this will give you the high data value, and instead of the 5%, it's still 5%. Okay, so that doesn't get that much better, but the save data goes much, and you're getting 90% bonus chaos orbs, which again we'll talk about in just a second. But every turn you discard a card randomly, so you might be able to turn this into an upside. There are some characters that like discarding cards, you know, for whatever reason. I believe Renoa likes discarding her dirge bullets. There are cards that can like discard and come back to your hand and discard again, kind of stuff. But then it also has 8 elite spots on the map. This is just kind of rough. So this is what would be like one of the harder ones, at least for where I'm at in the game, and this would be one of the easier ones. And so basically what you're going to do here is you're going to have 2 empty slots, and it is important to know it is going off your exploration level of the blue pot. You will level this up as you do these, but you could also do the easy run modes, just level the exploration, and that will be fine as well. So let's say I want to re-roll this one. You could either use materials and like to enhance it. I don't have a bunch of these right now. I had 75, but I didn't want to use them for this. And you could then basically choose stuff, and you can modify it and make a custom map. And if you have the option to make it more difficult, you can. And then after you do it, this is kind of expensive, so I don't want to do it more than once for the video, but then it'll like craft, and then you get to choose between the ones, right? And like, look at this one. And max health decreases by 40%. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want 40% less max life, especially when this is kind of the same, but it is giving you more chaos value. And this one, credits obtained from battle. is decreased by 70% on a level 49 map. Level 49 is pretty hard for me. My characters aren't at level 50 yet. I'm still in the process of leveling them up, and it's normal, but honestly, the credits being down is not that bad. But maybe I don't want to risk this. I know I'm covering that part with my camera, but maybe I don't want to risk that because I want the credits to remove cards from my deck to make a perfect deck. But you know, and so maybe I feel like I could deal with the 20% less HP. Maybe I feel like I could deal with the whatever. So I'm just going to take the HP one in for this case, one, because I want to run this kind of map anyway, and I have a couple of them. But that's the thing. You could run these. They will be like normal runs, but slightly harder based off your modifiers with slightly better rewards. Then you are going to get Chaos Orbs. So in addition to using them to craft, which I haven't messed with myself, I assume that allow you to craft better maps of higher rarity and more modifiers. You are also going to be able to go to upgrade, and this has its own meta progression. So you are going to be able to level up your attack, your defense, your health, and your rare species. So it's like elite battles are going to give you rare encounters, more powerful monsters appear, but you can obtain additional Chaos Orbs. So this will allow you to farm more Chaos Orbs, already at a 9% increase. And then once you unlock all these, you're going to unlock more. So this is all super cool, getting all the upgrades. And I believe that the upgrades are all permanent. I mean, they're obviously permanent in between runs currently, but there is an 80-day timer for what I'm about to show you next. It doesn't imply to me that the upgrades are going to reset after 80 days, that it is more of a one-time through mechanic. And maybe the archives is actually where you can go back and do old. I don't entirely know. But it seems like the upgrades are going to be there. You can also get achievements by doing higher level difficulties up to difficulty 10, which is why I said it's 10. So if you could do a codex at level 10, you're just going to get, you have to go through each map and do each one of them at level 10. That sounds difficult. I did level 5, and it was already the hardest of the chaos maps that I've done so far. But again, we're not at level cap. We're still min-maxing. We don't have maxed out characters, yada, yada, yada. But look at this. The Chaos Matrix, for in the next 80 days, you have how many levels? I don't even know of rewards. Most of this is pretty good. Like, there's not a whole lot of pulls here. There are the cosmetic pulls, and then there's a reasonable amount of currency and then some upgrade materials. But I mean, there is 60 levels of this stuff. So just a huge amount. And for the very first one, I got 5. Okay, so is 5 a lot? And it's based on how many of these chaos orbs you get. You don't spend them here. It's just keeping track of your milestones, basically. So by collecting your chaos orbs, you are going to get a bunch of rewards. So the more you get, the better. You're going to be able to upgrade yourself permanently to make it so you might be able to push those higher difficulties, and your characters will actually be stronger in this mode than in any other mode. But to compensate, it's going to be the hardest version of these chaos modes that you can do. So it's kind of fun. It's raising the difficulty and it's raising the character power to help match that difficulty. And honestly, this is a really fun system. It's exciting. It's a great twist on the normal chaos mode. I was not expecting this. So that is what this is. When you hit level 40, that's when the game is really opening up to me. And other than that, it is a normal chaos run, right? You're going to be able to edit your cards. You have the same events that you've always had. You're just getting more of the rare ones, less of the common ones. You get to use your loot certification card, and it's based on the difficulty of this, right? So it's like level 5. If I come over here to chaos manifestation and I choose this one and I go to level 5, this is like, okay, not this, but you get the level 5 version of the loot. And these ones only go up to level 6, but that other one, like I said, they go up to level 10. So that's going to be where you actually want to use your loot cards, is on things. Once you hit level 7, there's no reason to use your loot cards here anymore. You want to try to farm them on the other side. So, and yeah, you can also go into them with the deep trauma, or you can go into them without the deep trauma. So you can have a really, really hard map with enhanced this, enhanced that, enhanced rewards, more rare things, and put deep trauma in on top of that, which will make it harder in general. And this will all combine to just allow you to make much more powerful decks with much harder content. And it's honestly a blast. It's just a very deep system that's done super well. So I would recommend getting to the Zero system sooner rather than later. Absolutely an awesome addition to the game that I wasn't expecting. I didn't think that it would just put a really fun system on top of what was already what I thought was a really fun system with the normal ones. But now I don't want to run normal maps. Now I want to run Chaos. I want to run Codex maps. It feels like Path of Exile almost. And obviously it's not Path of Exile in a million ways, but the idea of like crafting this map and going into this map and completing it for increased rewards, deciding if you could beat the difficulty and clear the map, but if you accidentally make it too hard, you've kind of wasted the resources going in there. You're still going to get some stuff, but you're going to lose a lot of potential stuff. Very cool system. Level 40, get there, make sure you build Beryl because she's awesome. And that is all for this one, guys. Very cool system. I'm having so much fun with this game. It's been an absolute blast. Let me know down below how much chaos how much of these Codex maps have you run? How much of the Zero system have you engaged with? And if you haven't engaged with it, do you think it's are you excited for it, or does it feel a little too convoluted and complex, or maybe even too difficult? I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you know how I feel. You just listen to me talk about it for 10 minutes. Either way, we're done for today. Much love. Per platypus is per platypus. I'll see you on the flip flops. Bye.
Content king, never down, always showing up, hitting milestones. The fame never lets up. Click that link, dive in deep, never get enough. Gaming, blogging, every trend, always